We are live. 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 Thank you all. Please kindly share this broadcast. Let everyone know that we are live right now. We are here with you guys today. Let's talk. Let's talk. The leadership standard is live. The leadership standard is live. Today we're going to be talking about the rise of terrorism in Nigeria. As you all can see, for those who are following Nigeria closely, you can see that there is being a high rise of terrorism going on in the country. Um, and there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. And also, we want to talk about the failure of leadership, the failure of leadership in Nigeria, the failure of leadership in Nigeria that has led to many lives and properties being destroyed. It has led to various massacres. It has led to multiple destruction in various levels in the country. So, those are some of the things and topics we're going to be discussing today. Please, if you're joining us, you know what to do. Kindly like and subscribe so that we get more people involved. All right. Kindly like and subscribe as well so that we get more people involved. Today is a beautiful day. Today is the day the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and we shall be glad in it. So please kindly like, subscribe. Let's get more people involved. All right. So I hope everyone can hear me. I don't want to be speaking to the crowd without people actually hearing me and understanding what I'm saying. But today I want us to actually before I proceed, I want to make sure that you all can hear me. So I'm gonna put the countdown one more time to get more people here as well. Alrighty. Welcome, 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 welcome. Beautiful day, beautiful day, beautiful day. If you can hear me, please let me know clearly so I can ensure that the volume is not being affected. Today we will be having an amazing conversation where we talk about what's going on globally around the world. We are live. All right, so all right, so the volume is good. The volume is good. Tested, and we can tell that the volume is good. Alrighty. My name is Onyebuchi Okeke. I go by Buchi Law. Um, and I'm your host for the Leadership Standard on today's episode. It's clear that there's been a high rise of terrorism in Nigeria. Everyone can tell, everyone can see. But we have to ask ourselves, why is this happening all the time? Why is there a frequent rise of terrorism in Nigeria? The reason why there's a frequent rise of terrorism in Nigeria is simply because of the fact that, the government is not doing enough. And sometimes a lot of people can actually even argue that there's been a collusion between the Nigerian government and, the terrorists that are taking over various parts of Nigeria. Terrorists are they're taking over various, and some of the people they're left hostage. They can't help themselves. They have to do what the terrorists tell them to do. If not, they will lose their lives and their properties. And it's become so crazy that the people are not understanding what's going on. They just are left bewildered by what's happening. And to the point now that these terrorists are taking over prisons, they're taking over churches, they're taking over mosques, they're taking over lands, they're taking over families, they're taking over everything you can think about, they're taking over. And most people are left, they can't do anything about it. The government cannot find a solution to this problem, right? And everyone is just stuck in a limbo. And that is exactly what's going on. And now, if you look at this video now,
At least
I'm going to play this video. I want you to see this video so you can understand exactly the frustration of people. People are frustrated. They don't know what they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do.
one person has died and three others injured in an attack on the Kuje Correctional Center in the Federal Capital Territory. During a visit to the facility after last night's attack, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Interior, Mr. Shaibu Belgore, explains that about 600 inmates escaped from the facility. Over 300 of them have been recaptured, and some are on the way. He adds that the facility holds 994 inmates and that the attackers, who he suspects are Boko Haram terrorists, attacked the facility to rescue their co-conspirators.
The inmates here, 994 is the population of the inmates. And when they broke out with approximately, because these people came specifically, we understand they are Boko Haram, they came specifically for their co-conspirators. But in order to get them, some of them are in general population, so they broke out, and other people in that general population escaped as well. But many of them have returned. They have reported themselves to the police. Some have returned. Some we have successfully retrieved from the bushes where they are hiding. And right now, at least we have retrieved about 300 out of about 600 that got out of the jail cells. And the retrieval is going on. We receive reports that there are still about 50, 60 that have been intercepted somewhere just a little outside town here. And you will have heard the helicopters hovering overhead. They are locating the different locations where these people are. The military checkpoints and police checkpoints from here to Abaji, from here to Suleja, from here to town, everywhere, everybody is on high alert. And the inmates are being retrieved even as we speak. We don't know how many were killed among the attackers.
There you have it. That's one of the officers and of the Minister of Interior talking about the attack. There have been attacks on the facilities, the Nigerian facilities in Nigeria, Abuja, by Boko Haram terrorists, and these Boko Haram terrorists, they're taking a lot of foothold in the affairs of Nigeria, and they've been having this break attack in prison facilities for quite a while now. It's been going on for quite a while now, and it is quite worrisome that Boko Haram terrorists are being emboldened by these acts of terror, and they can carry out these attacks unhindered for large number of periods. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of pastors and a lot of religious leaders are calling for people to have the rights to bear arms and protect themselves from situations like this. So I just wanted everyone to be aware of what's going on, because things are happening currently in Nigeria, and lives of so many people have been lost. Um, but again, some people will say there's also general peace and tranquility in some parts of the city in Nigeria. But you know, Nigeria does have its own myriad of problems. It's like when you finish one problem, another problem comes out. But again, it's all part of what it takes, to live and survive in Nigeria. You have to be able to withstand all types of issues and situations that occur. Now, this is where this is in Lagos. I want you to see this is a flood happening in Lagos, and luckily I don't know the full story behind, but I'm very sure that these folks were being submerged by floods in Nigeria, Lagos, and the news is not really clear if they survived.
ó yẹ kó ti bọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ tipẹ́tipẹ́ bọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ wàláì ó mú mọ́tò tí bí yẹn tán ni ó ti mú tán ìbáwọn lè tẹ̀ ṣe hàn. ó ti lọ. ọmọ ìkọjálẹ̀ gbà wọn yẹn ọmọ ìkọjálẹ̀ gbà wọn yẹn ọmọ gáàjì ò lè escape wọ́n ti mú wọn máa mú mi yó. mo rí sí ibẹ̀ ẹ́ dìbò jí ibà yìí lọ orípọ̀ mọ́tò yẹn kò ṣó mọ̀ mọ́tò ṣó mọ̀ ọmọ what a horrible death Jesus àrí wọn mọ́ o àti mọ́tò gan àtàwọn gan àrí wọn mọ́ báyìí.
So that's another situation that occurred. That's in Lagos State. And when you look at things like that, you see one of the reasons why a lot of people are worried because Nigeria is a country, as I said, of so many issues and problems, and it's not just the federal government; it's also state play their role in not ensuring that people have the benefits of public and social welfare. All right. And when you see floods, the myriad of problems that results come from floods. It could be lack of drainage. It could be people building on top of drainages. It could be people actually throwing trash into the drainage. So many problems that played, and a lot of people play their own role in this. It's not just the government. The role, there are some people that are also playing their role in ensuring that those drainages are not being taken care of, right? And some of those people are actually, the followers, the people who live, in the communities, and everyone has to play their role so that no one suffers any unnecessary death due to flooding and due to, high rising waters. So that's what I understand by this, and that's what I see that's going on continuously in Nigeria, because we see these floods happening every time, right? Every year, the same places get flooded. Every year, we know that this place is going to get flooded. Every year, but the problem is we don't see any viable solution. Like no one is coming up with ideas. No architectural engineering person is coming up with ideas on how to solve the problem. Everybody is just, everyone is just confused. Everyone doesn't know what to do. So I feel this is something we need to worry about and talk about a lot, so that we can figure out how we can get out of this situation. Rather than making the same mistakes over and over and over again yearly, we can figure out how to solve this problem once and for all. All right. So that's one of the things I'm looking at, and that's one of the things I feel we need to talk about. So another thing again I wanted to talk about is the issue of, the tragedy that occurred again when the Air Force jet bombed innocent villagers and scores are feared dead. This is one of the things that I feel like we've had one too many happen several times. There was a tragedy in Katsina State as the Air Force bombed innocent people, innocent villagers, scores are feared dead. An Air Force jet targeting terrorists in Safana local government area of Katsina State has accidentally bombed villages. According to reports, the incident happened where the Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP Aminu Umar, was murdered by bandits on Tuesday. Details of the incident are still sketchy as of press time, as the police public relations officer in the state, Issa Gambo, could not be reached. Daily Trust, however, reported that the jet hit the wrong target in the operation launched against camps of bandits in the area. leading to the death of unspecified number of villages. Katsina has been one of the states in the north battling with terrorist attacks, and there have been series of killings and kidnappings in the state recently. There you have it. So, as you can see, there's a high rise of terrorists and attacks going on in Katsina State as well as Kaduna State. But the manner at which the Nigerian Air Force, carries out its operations sometimes needs to be worrisome, because going about killing innocent people, it shows that there was a major lack of communication, or there was just something there that happened beyond reasonable doubt, that people will just lose their lives for no reason. But it's one of those things that we need to talk about, and we cannot just sweep this under the carpet. People who carry out those attacks and kill innocent people, they should be brought to book too. They should be brought to justice as well, because those are human beings that they killed. Those are not cows or chickens. Those are real human beings that they killed. So they should be brought to book as well. So unfortunately, that those people had to lose their lives, because of lack of care. The duty of care that was owed to them, was definitely breached. However, if this is going on, then there should be a form of justice for these folks that have lost their lives. That's my submission on this one. So we're going to talk about another issue again, because we cannot let politics be at the back burner, because we suffer from all of these things, and even when police brutality occurs, we have to talk about these things too, because we never know. They dislocated my finger and drank gin. NSAS lawyer Ridwan Okay recount ordeal in the hands of law-breaking policeman. Ridwan Okay, a Lagos-based lawyer who played an important role in the release of several detainees during the October 2020 NSAS protest, as narrated to FIJ, his ordeal in the hands of policemen he questioned for breaching traffic regulations on Tuesday. He said the officers inflicted physical injuries on his body, dislocated one of his fingers, and caused him internal pains. Okay was arrested by officers attached to the Area C Command of the Lagos State Police after he questioned them for driving against traffic on a one-way lane, causing gridlock. Right? He was questioning them why they are driving against traffic. FIJ earlier reported his arrest after a source revealed he was slapped and beaten before being taken to the station, where he was later released. Recounting the experience, Okay said, I was at the gate of my house while seeing someone off when I noticed traffic gridlock. From Ikorodu Road to Ingbo, there is a road that leads to my street, and from there to Third Mainland Bridge is one way. Police officers arrested Okada riders and put them in their van, and were coming directly from the other end of the road, blocked the road with their van, meaning nobody could move. There was an alternative route that leads out of that street, but they did not use it. Instead, they were asking people to move and causing the gridlock. People were chastising them for breaking the law, and I joined in. The driver of the van said, you people should tell them to stop riding motorcycles. And I replied that while they were condemning riders for breaking the law, they were also breaking the law. You see how these people operate? You see exactly how they operate. They will tell you to not to do something, but they themselves are doing it. That's just exactly how corruption is defined in Nigeria. Corruption is defined in a situation where people will do the things they tell you that you should not be doing. Hypocrisy to the highest order. Hypocrisy to the highest order. They go about breaking the same law that they tell people not to break. So how then does that make any sense? So let me keep reading on. He said, I asked how they expected people to listen to them. Then they attacked me and hurled insults at me. He said his retort did not go down well with the officers, as three of them jumped out of the vehicle to beat him. The three police officers jumped out of the van and started beating me. They used batting on my head. I have injuries on my head, forehead, and the side of my head. One of my fingers is dislocated. I can't use it very well currently. My knees and back, as well as the side of my chest, were also injured. I can feel pain all over. The bruises are not showing, but I can feel the pain internally. They slapped me and were beating me up.
I did not fight back. I only attempted to protect my vital organs. My brother tried to appeal on my behalf, but they slapped him before dragging me to their van to continue the beating and take me to their station. He said the officers stopped to buy Jane an alcoholic drink and began drinking while on their way to the station. I was unable to identify or get their names from their uniforms as they wore plain casual clothes. But he said the officer who led the operation was Sadiq Taiwo. Oke said he also took the intervention of his wife and and Benjamin Hundeyin of the Lagos State Police Command to secure his release. On our way, they bought dry gin and started drinking. Sadiq Taiwo was the officer who led the operation, he added. You see what I'm talking about? So these are the problems. The problem is that some of these officers will not be fired. They will not lose their jobs. You know, they will not lose their jobs. And if the officers do not lose their jobs, how can they make progress? You know, these people will still maintain their jobs. Some of they will say they want to take them for rehabilitation, all this other nonsense that they do. You know, and all of these things is one of the reasons why people are going through all these problems. You know, you see what I'm saying? Even Eze Daniel says that there is no peace anywhere. Fulani terrorist headsmen are killing people everywhere. Nigeria does not report up to 1/8 of the things happening there. 1/8. You can imagine. So there's a lot of things happening in Nigeria. There are a lot of killings going on. A lot of people are losing their lives. But again, the problem is that the simple things should not be this difficult. Like, why can't the policemen just follow and go through normal traffic? Why must they be breaking the law, going through one way, and when they are being chastised, they still beat people? Again, and this is even a lawyer that they were beating. They were beating a whole lawyer, you know. And I'm a lawyer, so I understand exactly how this feels. And I understand how this feels, you know. I can remember exactly this same thing happened to me when I was back in Nigeria, where I saw a police officer harassing, someone. I think it was a bus driver or something, and it was just harassing this man. And I had come to speak with the police officer respectfully. I was just like, what's going on? Why are you bothering this person? And what's going on? The next thing was like, why don't you shut your mouth and not put your mouth in? Like, who sent you? Like, do you want to carry his problem? And in my mind, I'm like, I'm just asking a random question. We don't have to get to this point where you start asking, like, acting like you want to beat me up or anything. That's how this man got angry, and he just put me inside his car and said, we're going to the station. That's how I found myself in the station. And this was in under the bridge around that Akute side, Alagbalo Akute side. And the point is, when you see all these things happening, you realize, why can't police officers act like normal, decent people? Why is it that the Nigerian police officers find it very difficult to act decently? And it's not all of them, but some of them, the majority of them, they go through, they saw they act like they are traumatized. They act like, there's something wrong with them. They act like they are dogs waiting for an opportunity to unleash their madness or bite, and all of these things are worrisome, because police officers should be rational people. They should be people who have, good conscience, people who can control their emotions, people who can be patient, people who can listen, people who can love on people who can laugh, people who can understand that life is not all about shooting and slapping and kicking people in the face and stepping on people and punching people in the nose. Like, it's something that most police officers they need to be conscious about, because I feel like whenever they see people who are civilians and they themselves are carrying a gun, or they have a semblance of power, they just go mad. It's just a madness. There's no other way to explain what these people are doing in this scenario that I just pointed out, where you know where they just come down from their cars and start beating people for for telling them that what they are doing is wrong. If people tell you what you're doing is wrong, you should go back and reflect on it and see how you can be better as a person, rather than trying to slam somebody's face on the wall or beat somebody on the teeth, or just, or even worse, just kill the person. That should not be the way of right thinking people. That should not be the way of people who are focused on growth and focused on leadership. Everyone should try as much as possible to be better. So this is another story I wanted to talk about. Investigation, inside details of how ex Boko Haram fighter became Nigerian prison official. As you can see, documents indicate how Mr. Yohana Boko Haram background was detected after he displayed dexterity in gun handling during training. You see what I'm talking about? These people are in power now. These people are in power. They've gotten power, and it is sad that they have gotten power this way, because now they just feel they can do anything they like, and it is worrisome. Like, why would you feel like you can just, you know, go anywhere or be any, or, it's like, see, on February 18 this year, an alarm was raised at a correctional center in Adamawa State. A former Boko Haram fighter, Wilberforce Yohana, had just been recruited as a staffer of the Yola New Custodial Center in the state. Documents obtained by this newspaper on the security situation at the prison facility showed that Mr. Yohana Boko Haram's background was detected following the dexterity he displayed with gun handling during training. While on training, he was found to be more versatile in the use and operation of firearms. The leaked files obtained by Premium Times revealed, upon further interrogation and collaborative findings, he confessed to having been abducted and held hostage by members of the Boko Haram for 2 years. The new prison official also confessed to have gotten training in heavy weapon handling from a Boko Haram base before he escaped their custody, according to the documents. It is unclear if Mr. Yohana's claim that he fought for Boko Haram against his will is true, or if he merely tried to downplay his past. Authorities have so far failed to launch the necessary inquiry needed to scrutinize the prison official's claim and determine his real past. What is, however, clear is that Mr. Yohana was a deadly combatant for the terrorist group, and implications of recruiting him into any nation's security services should have been extensively considered. Although the Correctional Service authorities are worried about the recruitment of an ex-terrorist, they are unwilling or uncertain about doing anything in Mr. Yohana's case to avoid getting negative media attention. All right? They were asked if the terrorist was profiled before he was recruited. Our sources said bribery and corruption have compromised the standard of vetting in the correctional service. Bribery and corruption, as well as nepotism. Let's also add that part, because there's also nepotism play. It's not just bribery and corruption, it's also nepotism. The insider said a good number of applicants pay bribes to get placement at the correctional facility without going through any rigorous vetting. And let me tell you, the people who pay these bribes, they're not just, Fulani or Hausa people. They're also Igbo people. Igbo, Yoruba, Ijo, Efik. Everybody pays bribes. We've all heard about situations like this where people paying bribes to get to these kind of places. Usually, vetting is to be done before recruitment, but in the correctional service, little or no vetting is done. All right, there you have it. Correctional service, they don't even vet the people that come in there to become correctional service workers. They don't vet them. How do you just get people who are former Boko Haram terrorists working in a whole prison service? Now it all makes sense why they can escape Kuje. They can escape Kuje because they have their own people in power. They have their own people there. Kuje prison, it was like a hub for Boko Haram terrorists. The people that were in the facility were Boko Haram terrorists. Some of the men that were there protecting them as the prison warders, some of them were former Boko Haram terrorists. It's just like a family, circle for them, family hangout, like a hangout center, like the way you go watch football. That's how they were just hanging out there. So it was kind of easy for them to just break in and break out. That's how I see it, you know. So let's finish this story, then I round up for the day. They said there was no vetting. The insider said a good number of applicants pay bribes to get placement. Usually, vetting is to be done before recruitment, but in this correctional service, there is little or no vetting. When authorities found that Mr. Yohana was a former member of the violent Boko Haram group with rare expertise in gun handling, palpable fear and anxiety immediately enveloped the prison facility. Officials who spoke with Premium Times but asked not to be identified by name said poor recruitment exercises allowed Mr. Johanna to enter the workforce of the correctional service, make prison facilities vulnerable to attacks and jailbreaks. This, the official said, is because evil planners can easily find compromised, corrupt, or double-dealing correctional service workers to help their mission from within. You can hear that now. On Wednesday, heavily armed men attacked Kuje prison, freeing more than 64 Boko Haram inmates in the facilities. Before the following day, the Islamic State for West African Province, a Boko Haram faction group, claimed to be the mastermind of the jailbreak. All right, there you have it. There you have it. It's becoming clearer how these people are operating and the speed at which they're operating, because it is sad. It is definitely sad. So that's all the time I have today. I want to thank everyone for being a part of my show today. Please kindly subscribe, follow, and like, and let me know what you think. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think about today's episode. And, whatever suggestions you have as well, please kindly message me. Thank you, and see you now until next time. Enjoy the rest of your week, and a happy Monday.